Hey guys, it's Psychosis again. And to start off with, anyways, happy Thanksgiving everyone. It's Thanksgiving today, or at least when I'm making this video. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving everyone. Hope your Thanksgiving is going great. Anyways, today I have for you guys another review, which I think this one was a request. But today we will be reviewing Motionless in White's Scoring the End of the World, which was released earlier this year. And this is a genuine review because I have never listened to this album once in my life. Like, it's been out for months and I just never listened to it. So I'm like, oh, this gives me the perfect opportunity to listen to it. That's kind of why I like these reviews. You can just, it gives me a reason to listen to stuff or to revisit albums. But yeah, I listened to it for the first time. So today, as per the request I got, I will review it. And so yeah, it's Motionless in White's newest album. If you don't know this band, they're pretty huge in the metalcore scene. And yeah, they've been around since 2010. But yeah, this album started off with is I'd say it's different than their other ones. It's not as heavy. It's kind of on the softer side in terms of like music and tone and that kind of thing. And yeah, it's not as heavy. It's more mainstream kind of, a lot more like choruses and like hooks and that kind of thing, which is fun. It gets you singing along to the songs, or tries to get you to sing along to the songs and that kind of thing. Yeah, more radio friendly songs you could say compared to their other ones. Like this album is probably more likely to be played on a radio than their other one, or other ones I should say, like earlier albums in their discography. Yeah, I just started to mention first. But yeah, after that, the music's in kind of I guess. I enjoyed it, but this album didn't really jump out at me as much. I mean, I'm not really the biggest fan of this band. I listen to them here and there, but compared to other bands, I don't listen to them as much, and I just didn't really jump out at me as much. Like, it's songs were all catchy and the choruses and that, and it just didn't jump out at me. But yeah, it's kind of like perfect in a way, perfect modern metal album, modern production, but it's not like bad or anything. Really clean, really nice. You hear everything. Everything's nice and loud in the mix. Not Jen's loud, but yeah. Yeah, it feels like nothing will be louder than a Jen mix on an album. Yeah, so that part is good. Yeah, it's just that's kind of what leads to my biggest gripe with this album is it's kind of cringy, honestly. Like the lyrics and stuff, and just how it presents itself. There's a lot of with like a lot of the hooks I mentioned. It just comes off to me as like really cringy, and I don't get it at all. Like I said, it's super radio friendly. Like there's a lot of choruses in this. There's not really a lot of like breakdowns or anything you would expect to find in a metalcore album. So no chun 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 as much, and just yeah, a lot of clean choruses. I kind of keep jumping back on that, but that is like the big thing with this album. I mean, all their albums have that, but this album it feels like that is what it is. And I mean, they're good. He has a great voice and all, but I'm somebody I like for me it's about balance when it comes to my metalcore. I like a mix of cleans and growls because sometimes it feels like it's too little unclean parts, and other times it feels like there's too much clean parts or too much heavy parts. It just depends. Different bands have different amounts of balance and stuff, or the formula they take on it. But this band just felt like a lot of that. I mean, there's heavier songs on this album, like Slaughterhouse had a heavier riff. Yeah, it just kind of feels average though. Like the riff is something you'd expect in what an out modern metalcore album such as this one, and it just doesn't jump or wow me as much, or it doesn't seem as heavy. And it's just like, oh, okay, that was nice, but yeah, I will say though, this band is their sounds change too. Like a lot of the times I was listening to these songs and I'm like, this sounds like Breaking in White. Like a lot of how the song structure is, it felt like I was listening to a Breaking Benjamin song, which I love Breaking Benjamin, don't get me wrong. But I don't know why you'd want to copy them. Like they have a good thing going, and I mean they have a good formula, Breaking Benjamin, but for this band, there's really no need for them to change their sound, and they just changed their sound anyways and made it more catchy. And it just comes off as cringy and stuff to me. I don't know. A lot of like goofy little things or like fun like electronic beats and songs that kind of remind me of the Browning in times, like poor man's Browning basically. Minus the fact that the vocals are better and they're not one tone, one dimensional like the Browning has. But yeah, it just comes off as just to me. I'm just being honest. Yeah, I try to be honest in these reviews, and that's how it was. It was, and of course, if every song kind of started feeling the same after a while, and it just felt like it was starting to drag on a bit. Even though the songs sounded good, I enjoyed listening to them. It was just kind of boring after a while. I mean, individually, I think some of these songs are great. Like they have cringy moments, like I mentioned, like silly, goofy things, but and kind of like Breaking Benjamin ripoff, kind of at times. Mainstream radio friendly type stuff with how the choruses are structured and stuff, and how he says the word lyrics in the choruses, that kind of thing. But it's just, yeah, I did enjoy the songs though. It's just the album is just to me average. It just feels like an average album, and yeah, just, that's just all I can really say about it. It just felt like an average album, and it didn't jump out to me as much. Some parts were kind of cringy. It really nicely produced though. That's the thing. It's like super crazy with that, and yeah, it just didn't jump out at me. It just felt like an average album. An average Motionless a White album, average, more mainstream metal rock album, rather than one of the bigger hit modern metalcore bands from like 2010 onwards. And yeah, that is my final consensus. It's just an average album, and I think honestly 100% that their older albums are much better than this one is. And yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, so I'm not disappointed about it. It's just whatever. But I mean, if you like it, that's cool. Just to me, I didn't like it as much. And that it's, for the other stuff, it is disappointing if you do compare it to their other stuff. It's just because to me, their older albums are pretty good. Just in my opinion. In terms of metalcore, that is. Not in music overall, objectively. But yeah, as someone who loves metalcore, it's just as an album. But yeah, that is my review. There's really not much else to say about it. It just comes off as average. I could end the video in like under a minute and just say that, but I wanted to kind of talk about it. And yeah, so yeah, that's my review, guys. My final, for a number rating out of 10, I will give this album a 6 out of 10. It has its moments, it has good parts. Like I said, there's riffs like Slaughterhouse, which are heavy, but they come off as just more filler. I mean, they're highlights on this album, but if they were in any other album, they'd be kind of like filler riffs or songs. And so yeah, I'll say this album is a 6 out of 10. Pretty average album, mainstream metal album. If you like it, like I said, that's fine. This is just my rating of it. If you're new, just watching this video, it's just to give an idea of what it's like. But at the end of the day, it's up to you though. I just do these reviews because they're fun and it gives me a reason to listen to stuff. And yeah, that's just my review, guys. 6 out of 10. Anyways, let me know what you thought down below in the comment section. I like seeing comments. I don't get a lot of them, so any comment is nice. And yeah, and I do requests for these. It's not like I just pick these out. So yeah, which I do pick out albums to review. But if you have a request, like if you just randomly want to see me review a certain album you're choosing, just also let me know and I'll do that. Or video ideas or whatnot. Anything goes in the comments. I really don't care. Positive, negative. Anything is helpful. Any feedback is helpful to help me grow and get this channel going. And so yeah. That is like I said, that is my review for Motionless and White's Score in the End of the World. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you whenever I make another video. Goodbye.